You are nothing more than devil worshippers. That's why you don't have any power in your religion against your enemy, because you are worshiping in the religion that your enemy gave you. Your enemy gave you Christianity. Your enemy gave you this religion. A slave-making religion. Have no power in it to free you. Your enemy set up the church. Peter didn't set it up. Paul didn't set it up. The white man set it up. Didn't he? He set up the black church because he didn't want you in the white church. He gave you the black preacher. He taught him theology and told him what to preach. That's why you have never been able to be freed by no preacher, because the preacher has always been the tool of the white man against you.
I'm telling you, I am telling you, who can come behind Farrakhan? I guess it's gonna have to be me. I am your hood scholar Muff. I am coming out of the Bay Area. I am a bona fide Frisconian. Welcome to the War on Drugs AM podcast. And in this podcast today on September the 15th of 2024, because we're living in some very critical times, and as we getting ready and getting closer to this election, I thought it would be a good time for me to jump in and educate you and school others, and especially to the urban community, my black folks around the world. In America, you know, we way more sharper and smarter than what we give ourselves the credit that we deserve. It's more than just the bling bling and the all the other things that America portrayed us as. But I just thought that I needed to dive in more to what's going on in America from a hood perspective, and be able to break it down to you the best way I can. You know, trying to be obedient, not trying to be being obedient to God, and how He want me to be an influencer, and how He want me to translate commentary. It's not going to always be, you know, what people want to hear, and that's okay, because that's what makes us who we are, and that's what reality is about. And that's why I listened to Farrakhan, and I opened up with Farrakhan, and I believe sometimes in order for me to even get myself on the mic and follow behind such a powerful message, is that I'm going to have some type of intros like that in order for me to be who I need to be. And on that note, I just want to dive into something I think is really, really critical, and for us to understand what's going on in America right now with us and Donald Trump. And I'm 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 sure everyone's familiar with Dr. Cornel West. So Dr. Cornel West, in his book Democracy Matters, Democracy Matters was written in 2005. So um, just the other day, something told me to go back and review Democracy Matters, because I had read it like a year or two ago, like sort of like during the pandemic. So probably like around 2022 or something, 21, I read it. And so I was just sitting at home, and something told me to go back to the book. And when I went back to the book, I discovered this term called plutocrat. And so I was like, plutocrat. So of course I had to look up the word plutocrat. And I went to vocabulary.com, and plutocrat described people are a system that are controlled by wealth. A plutocrat government puts all in hands of those with large amounts of money. And so I said, oh, so this describes how Trump is able to be a politician all of a sudden. It was like magic. Like voila, I'm a politician. So what is happening in our society right now? It is very critical that we keep up with information, and especially from information like our prominent scholars like Dr. Cornel, who was also running for president this 2024 election. This is about how much African American and black folks is not talking about or taking democracy seriously. And I just want to say that it's important that we take this a little bit more serious, because what goes on in America impact our children, especially what happens today. Just like I was trying to explain to someone that the laws that we're living out right now is some laws that Lyndon Johnson, a president from 1950 something, put in place. We still living it out today, and with democracy. And so I thought it would be important that we understood who Trump is from an urban perspective, because you got to remember, I'm a hood scholar, so a lot of my commentary is based on, I'm trying to break it down the best way that my people can understand what's going on out here in America, because there's no one have I know of that has even tried to introduce the term plutocrat to us and let us know that's who Donald Trump is. And so this democracy matters is really serious at this time and very crucial, because for one, Trump is a KKK. And as an African American, knowing the history of who they are and their ill mannered behavior, we can respect that. But what we do not have to respect the fact that he is not a politician, and because of that he is dangerous. And yes, he's definitely wealthy, but he's also corrupt, because he want to go down as corrupting America, not building America up. That's why you keep hearing the term in the movement saying we're not going backwards. So because political science is basically only taught in college, this is the time where the government should be being discussed in every home, every park, every in the car, wherever, because I'm sure teachers is probably speaking on democracy on project 2025. So which bring me to my thoughts that the hate crime by whites against black is such a norm that they have made it unnecessary to keep wanting to remind us of who their character are. And and now correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't take for Donald Trump, who is a plutocrat, not a Republican, who obviously then gave white folks courage, or this extra courage that they needed to be playing out the racism that they are projecting out more today since Trump has been in place, And so we don't need statistics on how many black folks have died in the streets of America. But where is our bill crime and hate crimes and movement via the government? And to protect every culture, they protect every culture, but yet they fail to protect African Americans. And I just want to know, do y'all see or anybody else feel that? Because see, that's why I am your hood scholar Muff. I am a survivor of Black San Francisco war on drugs. And you are now vibing with me on what's going on in America with the War on Drugs AM podcast. And the AM stands for the aftermath. We do have a lot to learn, and especially around the state of our democracy, and we are ready to learn, and you are welcome to school me and educate others on this platform. And so information is powerful, especially when you have foolishness like what's going on with Trump. Every bit of information is going to be powerful, because I'm starting to believe Trump then got bored with his money, and his accessories is not enough. It's like he didn't live so long at his age that he can't even enjoy his family and the generations before him, because you got to remember, he just told his brother to his nephew, or whomever was it, his nephew, to kill his child that's disabled or impaired or what have you. And so that should tell you right now that Trump is not even family oriented, because at his age, why would he not be enjoying his family instead of trying to tear down democracy? And the times has come when we have to be faced with somebody like Trump, which is a plutocrat. And I know I didn't research this. I would make a note to see how many people paid their way like Trump is doing. Throughout history, I never really known that this can happen, but I knew it was something fishy, because Trump's not a politician. And as I continue the conversation, it's important to peel back the layers on what is really going on in this 2024 election. The media is painting it the way they want to paint it, the necessary reflections, and it's not the reality that we live in, especially in urban communities. We all need to understand that television and the media, they show us what they want us to see. They often neglect the voices of those who are struggling the most. And that's exactly why I'm here to bring to you the voices for people that's for the forefront and the people on the front line, like myself. Let's talk about why so many people are drawn to Trump. And we have to recognize that his appeal isn't always about policy or plans. It's often about the image he project. He project as a strong man figure, playing on fears and frustration. But we need to ask ourselves, is this the kind of leader that we want to uplift us? Or is this about mainstreaming a system that has already rigged and has been rigged against the most vulnerable? Then there's Harris on the surface. She represents progress. Someone who's a look like us, because I am African American, who talks like us, because I am also African American, and you can often catch her swag or what have you, and understand our struggles, which she understands like us, being an American. And I'm not just going to say being an African American. America, every generation has struggled in America. People come to America and think it's going to be like voila and magic. But then some people are better off in their own homelands, because the homelands is way better than America. But that's another commentary. But we need to be critical right now, and we need to ask whether her policies will be actually led to changes that's desperately needed for all. And will her representation matter, but will her actions matter more? This election isn't just about picking sides. It's about how we, as urban Black Americans, are being played. It's about recognizing the plutocrat, the wealthy elites like Trump, who uses their power to manipulate the masses. It's even those who look like us, but might not have our best interests at heart. So, stick with me as we dissect the election cycle into the hidden agendas and uncover the truth that the media won't tell. It isn't just about politics, it's about our survival. We have got to stay woke, stay vigilant, and most importantly, stay informed. The stakes are too high to fall for the same old tricks. On the War on Drugs AM podcast, we're not just going to talk about things. We're going to strategize, we're going to be educating, and we're going to be empowering, because the games and manipulation of power knowledge is the only thing that we will set us free. Dr. Cornel West led me to read every book he wrote, because when he visited San Francisco during the pandemic, he spoke reality. There was a question from the audience. Someone asked, "What are we going to do about the elites?" Dr. West replied, "We love the elites. We just don't like their greed." And I quote, "I rushed home and I ordered everything my $107 could buy me." It's critical to learn from Dr. West, because he is born in the times where he have witnessed the history is repeating itself, and why we need to focus more on survival than materialistics. No matter who become the president to 2024, 2028, vote if you want to vote, or if you don't. Democracy matters. With the help of Dr. Cornel West, I really loved reading Dr. Cornel West, because he's very smart and intelligent, and he's a spiritual gangster, as he stated. He has experienced racism like no other than any other person. To read his books paints the true picture of America, but most black people will only have this knowledge if they are a scholar or a student of conscious awareness, or actually working on their spirituality, trying to make sense of America and their true identity. But it is important if we learn as much as we can, because those times are now when our survival is at stake. I want to leave a quote with Dr. Cornel West on what he said. Cornel West said, "The rise of ugly imperialism has been aided by an unholy alliance of the plutocratic elites at the Christian right, and also by a massive disaffection of so many voters who see little difference between two corrupt parties. With blacks, pay attention, with blacks being taken for granted by the Democrats, and with the deep disinfection on our youth." Now, keep in mind, Dr. West said this 19 years ago in his book Democracy Matters, in the chapter Frightening in Our Times. Dr. West's powerful statement is more relevant than ever with the state of this 2024 electoral race. Take a minute. How much truth does Dr. West project? America bases not all, half of their issues on black and brown people in America. What's the point? What's the point of adding the America as black people? Yeah, we in America, but what is America really doing to really help black people, when you got Trump trying to take us backwards? Trump talking about he didn't want to help the black and Latina brothers. I mean, all that. He's very disrespectful to women. He don't even speak like a politician. He's very childish and immature. And I want to point out some things that lines up to the immaturity. First of all, Trump is not a politician. He's a plutocrat. So when you listen to him in most of his speeches, he sounds like a child. He sounds like somebody that didn't had he's having a fit, as we say, a tension, what you call it, he's having a tension random, right? A tension torture or something. He's acting like he's a kid, you know. Yeah, you know, he act and he acts like a bully, because you got to remember the reason why he acts the way he act, his behavior, is because he want to be this big money man and this person with all this money. But you would think that because he have all this money, he would be happy and he would be more thankful. And so that should let you know that money don't make you happy. Y'all heard Biggie, more money, more problems. Because if he was happy as he want everybody to project, and then we're gonna stay timing in on Trump, because I want to dive into how he always using the Bible and acting like he's spiritual, and because that's the manipulation, and that's why you need to be welcome yourself to the Untold Stories of Lorenzo, because that's what we gonna talk about on my Untold Stories of Lorenzo, while we sitting here talking about discussing Trump as a plutocrat. This is what my theory of Untold Stories Lorenzo is. It's gonna break down haters. It's gonna break down manipulation, because nobody's focusing on manipulation. It's beyond to keep just calling people haters. Oh, they just be hating. No, 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 no. This here is called manipulation, and it is the survival of most people. And most people manipulate and hate on black people, but manipulate us and manipulate the situation as they still benefit of us on us. Does that make sense? Oh, okay. See, like Trump now. So now it's gonna I'm gonna take you into what I really liked it about Democracy Matter, and the second time that I read Democracy Matter, and I'm telling you, it's called divine timing, because it is the fate of our unborn grandchildren and my grandchildren and my children, you know, and it's important that I understand what's going on out here with us in society. And Trump doesn't have to ever to live, and he's Asian, and so to me, he has given me the impression that he not only is racist, but he's real destructive, you know, and he's like a devil in sheep clothing, because look what he did on January the 6th. Come on, America. Come on, urban black America. Wake up. If y'all saw what them white folks went up in there and done in that White House, so what else you think they willing to do? They will tear up America, is what we really got to start paying attention to, and quit taking this stuff lightly, because it describes him in the vocabulary what kind of person he is. And then Dr. West also break down in the book Democracy Matters the free market the fundamental the free market fundamental fundamentalism. And it's just a short way of him saying how the government keep black folks really distracted. I'm berating him now, and keeping us focused on what we need to be focusing on, but yet we so undistracted. And that's why he calling it a free market fundamentalism on their behalf, because they market off, they get paid off us, and it's free marketing. We still being treated as in not valuing off the music, the dancing, the clothes, the styles, the hairstyles. You know, they're selling us our stuff. That's what he mean by free market. Like, that's what I believe that he means. And then he also says a quote. Dr. West says that he broke it down again. He say, and I quote, "How ironic that in America we moved so quickly from Martin Luther King Jr. let freedom ring to bling bling television and social media has found ground to corrupt minds. And I'm going to leave y'all right there. I'm going to leave y'all right there. Welcome to the War on Drugs AM podcast. I am your hood scholar Muff. I'm going to leave you right there. Subscribe, stay tuned, stay blessed, and be safe. Till next time.